Okay, Peas family, it is Christina and little Buff Buff, and we are on our daily walk as always. And today I wanted to ask you all the question: has feminism been beneficial or harmful for women, for the family, and for men, since we're all in this together? So obviously I'm going to give my thoughts, but I'm really interested in hearing what you all's perspective is on this. So before I get into the video, wishing you all, as always, abundant life, love, joy, peace, and prosperity, not only to you, but also to your loved ones and even to your enemies. So before we get into the video, outfit check. Today I'm wearing my tie-dye skirt. It's like a little casual skirt. My favorite Chucks that are like, I don't know, at least 15 years old, maybe 20. I think I've had them since college. And my little hoodie, and then second hoodie, and I have my pretty scarf today. You know I don't wear it every day, but some days I like to wear it. And so with that, let's get into the video. So I asked this as a modern woman. I was taught by my parents to kind of believe in myself, not kind of believe in myself, but to believe in myself. I started a yoga business, yoga magazine, produce my own content, make products and sell them and stuff like that. So I'm definitely a woman who I feel like has felt empowered to kind of live my life on my own terms and, do what I want and try to make a business and be successful and all those good things. And so I live in America, United States, and I feel like the laws really empower women to be free in a way that women in so many other countries don't have that opportunity, which is awesome to me, right? Like in America, I can choose if I want to dress modestly, or I can choose if I want to wear like other clothes. I've worn all different types of hair, makeup, clothes throughout my life, and I like the fact that I've been able to do that and have those choices and live kind of on my own terms, right? And so as of today, obviously you see me dressing more modestly and I'm enjoying that. Oh, also forgot to talk about my little crossbody. It's so convenient. It's like a yoga mat bag, but I use it as like my everyday bag. And it's like so deep. Like you'd be surprised how much you can actually fit into this thing. If it's a whole yoga mat, but as a handbag, it's great. You can actually go shopping with it, put a couple things. Anyway, so celebrating that freedom of being able to just live your life on your own terms. And I think that's really awesome, right? But then, as I get older, I think you kind of start to really understand some of the natural rhythms of life and, marriage and children, and I'm starting to bake more. And obviously you're seeing me kind of dress more modestly, and I'm kind of embracing my femininity, in a certain way where I'm okay, I can do whatever I want, but I'm still kind of it's not really kind of I'm still a female, right? I'm still a birth giver, life giver. I can still give birth to life. I still have the instincts to bake, and I still have the instincts to, do house kind of stuff, right? And I think a lot of women, at least my friends I'm seeing, right, especially those of us who've been really independent, it's we start out kind of strong-willed woman, right? I can do anything. And as you get older, you're I guess, I remember why they did some of those more traditional things. And it's not anyone tells you that. It's kind of organically over time. You're kind of now I kind of get why women might traditionally bake and stuff, because if you're at home with the kids, is that just instinctual? Is that just instinctive? Is that the word? That women, obviously anyone can bake. I'm just saying that it seems as we get older, we kind of end up falling into a lot of natural gender roles. And it's not because anyone told us that. It's kind of especially as you get pregnant and start a family and things like that, things just kind of unfold that way over and over again. And it looks like maybe that we're being taught that way, but it's really just kind of our instincts coming out. So I'm really curious to hear what you all think about feminism in particular, and whether you think it's been good or bad for women. It's a big noisy thing, especially when it comes to working outside of the home. Women nowadays are expected to work outside the home, whereas before, women were really expected to just, be mothers. And it's it's interesting because you have like freedom versus restriction. Like, would you rather have the freedom to do what you want, but you have to work every day, you know, and maybe you might find a situation where you get married and you stay at home? Or would you rather a situation where women have to stay home, have to cover up, right? And it may be an easier lifestyle. I'm sure stay-at-home moms might argue whether or not it's easier, but it might be an easier lifestyle. But would you rather it be enforced upon you, right? And so it's kind of like battling this like element of free choice, free will, versus like maybe traditional values. I'm not really sure. I'm just interested to see what you all think about this, because it's something that I've been really thinking as I get a little bit older, and really I feel like myself fall into more traditional things and am seeking a partner that's like seeking more traditional things. I'm like, oh, like now I kind of get this in a way that I felt like as a younger person I really didn't get it, you know? And maybe it's just supposed to be that way, you know? Maybe when you're young, you're supposed to just kind of be independent and free, and like as you get older, you kind of like change. So I'm not really sure. Tell me what you all think about this one. Okay, so I just wanted to add this last part, which is even about children. So like, you know, I don't know if you guys have followed like my journey, but there was a point where I started working in a daycare teaching meditation and stuff to little kids. And you know, I wonder even about like children, like raising children. Like, is it better for, you know, maybe not better or worse, but like if we had a society where we really could afford to live on one income like it used to be, right? Like maybe society has just gotten so expensive that we have to have two people working. You know, is it possible to bring down the economy so it's not so essential that two people have to work, you know? Because then I even think about like children and childcare. So it's like, you know, everyone sends their children to childcare and they have another person taking care of their kids. And I just recently heard like a really wild horror story. I'm not even going to tell it because it was just wild, about something that someone was doing to the babies at this daycare. And you know, I just wonder about like how beneficial it is. Like, is it better to have the mother, you know, at home with the kid? Is it better to have the kid in the daycare? Like, you know, there's a lot to it, you know, and I guess these are just topics that I'm kind of actively considering as I think about my personal life and how I want my life to go and what I want to do, you know, with, you know, my husband and children and all that as I kind of go in that direction, I feel. And, you know, if it's possible to live on one income and how we can make it so that it's more affordable for people to really live, I feel like, I wouldn't necessarily call it traditional lives, but like, you know, maybe more connected to the family is what I kind of mean, right? And again, not saying that we should force people to do anything. Like if people want to live non-traditional lives, that's what I mean. I don't like the word traditional, but you know, for families who have children, like to make it more accessible for them to really like be with their kids as opposed to having to work so much just to pay for basic things. And so I don't know, again, I don't have the answer to this. You know, I wish I did. I wish I had the answer and could give you all, and I could talk confidently about like this is what we should do and blah blah blah, but that's not really what this is about. So if this was helpful or interesting to you, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I love your comments. I love to hear your feedback on my videos and like what you all think I should talk about. And as always, I love you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Peace. I hope you get a bottle of Afro oil today.
Entertainment.